Welcome to my channel Coding with Ranjana. We are going to begin with a session for double dimension array. In this session, you will learn about what is double dimension array, need of double dimension array, what is the syntax of writing a double dimension array, how to access array elements, the examples of double dimension array, how to declare and initialize the double dimension array, some example codes for traversing and finding the sum and average of a double dimension array elements, some practice questions for the students. Introduction to double dimension array. A two dimension array in Java is often referred as a double dimension array. It is an array of multiple single dimension arrays. It stores data in rows and columns like a table. This is a visual example where we are having some flowers arranged in rows and columns. The need of array. See, we are having few examples where we can represent tabular data structures using array. So an array is used for representing tabular data. Like when you record the student's detail, when you record the inventory item, or when you maintain a calendar grid, then in these places we need arrays. Matrix operation. In mathematics and computer graphics, whenever we are solving the problems of addition, subtraction, multiplication of matrices, we are using double dimension array. Some of the game boards do use double dimension array like tic-tac-toe, chess, or battleship. So these are like few examples of games which are using double dimension array, and even we are having more such examples where the game boards are designed using the double dimension array. In image processing, the data is recorded in the form of pixels in double dimension array so that you can manipulate or process the images. The syntax of example of double dimension array is the data type. It could be integer, float, string, boolean, etc. So the data type, and then we have the two pair of square brackets with the array name is equal to new data type, row size, and column size. For instance, we are having marks as a double dimension array and it is of integer type. So here it is int pair of square brackets. Marks is equals to new int 3, 4. So 3 is the row size and 4 is the column size. Accessing array elements. Double dimension array elements are accessed using index position for rows and columns. The first index of double dimension array is always 0, 0 and the last index is always row size minus 1 and column size minus 1. So in the example here, integer marks, new int square bracket 3 for the rows and square bracket 6 for the columns. So the first element is accessed using marks 0, 0 and the last element is accessed using marks 2 for the row and 5 for the column, as the last element is accessed using row size minus 1 and column size minus 1. In this example, here we are having the sports name which are stored in 3 rows and 4 columns. So the declaration is string square brackets sports is equals to new string 3 rows and 4 columns. Now each element is referred by a row subscript and the column subscript, or you can call it as a row index or a column index. So this is sports of 0, 0 and that is badminton, sports of 0, 1 that is table tennis, sports of 0, 2 that is chess, and sports of 0, 3 that is referred as basketball. Now sports of 1, 0, so this is the first row. Sports of 1, 0 is football, sports of 1, 1 is cricket, sports of 1, 2 is basketball, sports of 1, 3 is rugby. and so on for the rest of the rows. So these are the declaration for the this is the declaration for the sports variable, and these are uh, the ways by which each element is accessed. Another example of double dimension array here is sports. After the sports, we have the example of stem. So string, square bracket, open close. Stem is equals to new string. Then for the row, how many rows are there? 3 rows are there and 5 columns are there. So this could be taken as string, square bracket, open close. Stem is equals to new string. In one square bracket, you will write 3 for the rows and 5 for the columns. Another example of double dimension array over here is the library where we are storing the rows. There are 3 rows and 3 columns. So you can declare string square bracket open close. Library is equals to new string 3 rows and 3 columns. This is an image of letter A and it can be declared. Here we are having 9 rows and 11 columns. So this is the way you can declare a double dimension array for the image. And in each cell, these are the cells, in each cell you can store the records 0 for white and 1 for black color. So as we are having only this two black and white image, so we can process it in this manner to store the data. Declaration and initialization of array. Int square bracket open close. Here it has to be a small I. Yeah. So int square bracket open close marks is equals to, and in here see you will observe that we are having one single dimension array, second and the third, so three single dimension arrays. So it is a double dimension array is basically a collection of three. Here we have taken three single dimension arrays. So this creates a 3 by 3 matrix with predefined values as 90, 80, 70. This is row 0. 85, 75, 65, that is as row 1. And 88, 78 and 68 as row 2. So we are having 3 rows and then 1, 2, 3 vertical columns. Some code snippets for working with the array. So we use nested loops while working with a two-dimension array. So here this is the first loop and this is the second loop. So this is a nested loop. As there are 3 rows and 3 columns, so we are having for int I is equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus, and then this is a block. Inside this block we are having for int j is equals to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus, and then we are displaying system.out.print marks of ij plus we are having a space in order to maintain the gap between the data. So we'll execute this code in our next video. We will learn how to execute this code. So this is just a code snippet for understanding how to move from each element one by one in a double dimension array. This is another example where we are finding the sum and average of all the elements. So double sum is equal to 0, average is equal to 0, int I is 0, I less than 3, I plus plus, for int j is equals to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. So this is all a nested loop where we are maintaining the sum. First we are calculating the sum. So sum is equals to sum plus marks of ij. Once we are done with all the calculation of the sum in double dimension array, we will calculate the average. Average is equals to sum divided by 3. And then using system.out.println, we are displaying the sum and the average. You can just copy this code, and this is just a part of the code, and then you have to start from the declaration and then calculation of these um, sum and average. So these are a few practice questions. Please solve them, and once they are done, then please share your comments. If you have any doubts, please drop the comments below. Thank you.